Alright, really long video here. This is the entire week of, what is this exactly? Well, first I have a top set, 565, RP7. Felt pretty good, no issues. A little bit slow in the middle, but it didn't really, I could definitely, well, not really slow, but just not as I don't know what to say really about that, but felt really good though. Here's the back off set. Let's see what I wrote. So this set was a little tricky. Unracking wasn't good at all. It wasn't tight, so it felt a little bit harder than it should because of my setup. As you see, usually I take a little bit more time just kind of setting it on my back before I unrack, but decided to try it again. I'd probably rate this at like an RP 8, but I knew if I had a better setup I would have gotten the 7.5 7 RP. So still moved pretty well though, so yep. Pretty long video here, really long. Here is the second set of the 455. It was much better. Got my upper back really nice and tight before I took a step out. And yeah, much better set than the previous. Everything's looking really good here. This was, I guess, the deload week, so it was nice to kind of at least deload on the squat. If I remember correctly, everything else was kind of still high, not really, but this week's squats went really good, so it was nice to kind of take a break from that. Just two sets here, and here's some bench, worked up to 315. Felt a little bit slow. I'd probably rate it at, like, on this day I said I might have rated it at like a 7.5-ish. Yep. Come in the back off sets, 275, 3, 7.5. Felt a bit slow in the middle for the last rep. I decided to stay at the same weight again so I can try to see if I can do a little bit better and keep it a bit more tighter. There we go. And again, same weight, 275 for 3, RP 7.5. This set was much better. Still didn't feel the best, but it was better than the first set. And here is the last set. This is probably my best set. RP solid 7, 3, 275 again. And we'll be going into the next day after this. Following day is tempo squat, so it's everything: squat, bench, deadlift. And here we go, here it comes. Squat tempos worked up to 495. Maintaining technique was good, but coming out of the hole was difficult. Well, not really difficult, but it wasn't as... You can see my hips kind of shift back there, but still really strict on the technique today. So comes 400 for 4. This was like a 7.5-ish. Or actually a 7 rather. This was a 7. really strict on these. Really liking it. There we go. This is the third set. Felt like I was leaning a bit forward too much on these I wrote here. Overall, still felt pretty good. It was nice to do less weight, less reps. So here's the final set. Good speed, pause felt good. Excuse me. Coming up next is the wide grip bench, so 2 fingers wider than V competition stance or grip. First set 290. This was like an RP 7.5, 8ish. I forgot to tuck my chin in, so head did come off the bench just a little bit. Second set at 290 again. Here 7.5, a little bit slow. I felt like I needed to drink some water. Felt a little bit dehydrated, not dehydrated. I mean, I had water, but still didn't feel the best. Going into 290 again. This was at an 8.5, 8.58ish, 8.58. Didn't feel too good here, but still got it done. Did a better job of keeping my head on the bench for these. Oh, I don't know if you know this, but no hair, completely bald. Forgot about that. Although my hair's grown back since then. But here is deadlifts, 585, RP 7. This was the deadlift video that I sent to you on Instagram. So it was on this day when I did it. Here comes the second set. Really good, RP 7. But I felt like I wasn't really trying today. I think I don't know why, but I was feeling kind of blah. Not sure why. So for the third set, I missed the recording. I was at an RP 7.5. What you're seeing is the last set at 580 for 4. And kind of rushed the first rep, but I also didn't pull the slack out as well, but I did a better job throughout the set. Definitely my best set out of all of them. So here is, we're going into day 3 now. This is the squat, 455 for 5, RP 7, just regular squats up and down. I felt like today, on this day, I wrote down that I felt like I didn't get enough food, but I ate enough food, but my stomach was just not feeling. Felt like I needed more food this day. I don't know why. I think I had rice and beans this day, but I don't know, I just felt like I needed more food. Anyways, got through the workout though. Here's the second set, 7.5-ish. Third and fifth rep, I felt the bar path was off. Wasn't heavy, it was moving well. I just need to, I don't know what I wrote here. Oh, I think I said I needed like a little bit of a hype song just to get me like pumped up. I was feeling a little bit, not tired, not out of energy, just blah, you know, just blah, you know, it's just another day. So here's the next set. This one seemed to be a little bit more difficult. This was on the RP 8. Same weight again. I guess I'm just getting tired. And here comes the bench. Worked up to 315 again. 7.5 to 8-ish today. So this wasn't really a RP7. Felt like a 7.58. Yeah, I lost tightness. If you take a look at my left foot, it kind of slips a little bit. Just a little bit while I'm pressing. And that kind of threw me off, but still got through it. Still managed to finish. Second set, 265. 5, RP7. Super good set. Super tight. Reach for the chest. Head was on the bench. And, ends up going up about 10 pounds here. Again, everything felt good up until the last rep. My glutes kind of came off the bench while I was pressing. And you're going to see me kind of get my hips up just a little bit. There it is, right there. So, yeah. Although the 5th rep was much faster, but again, got to keep the glutes on the bench. So, here's the final set. 275, RP7. Kind of close to an 8-ish on this one. Kind of close. That's it for this day. Almost done. Almost done here. All right. Here comes pause deadlifts here. This felt a little bit heavy today. 7.5. Maybe an 8. I don't know. But I wrote it down as 7. So. And camera drop. So. Did a good job pulling out the slack though. Here comes the next one at 505 for 3. First 2 reps, pull the slack out nicely. Last one wasn't as good. Yeah. I think if I did a little bit better, my technique would have dropped down, or my RP would have dropped down. But here comes 290 or 490 for 3 RP7, much better. If I put in the RP7, it would have set me at 505 again, so I didn't want to try that. So I kept it at 7.5 in the sheet, just so that I wouldn't have to go up in RPE, and I could just stay and practice with this weight. So again, did 490 again, or like an RP7, maybe even lower. And here comes the last exercise for the week. Pause or tempo bench. I couldn't get other footage of my pressing because someone came in and told me I couldn't be recording, and I didn't really want to deal with that, so I just stopped recording altogether and just rated my RPs. I think I rated at like 7.5 for all of them. So yeah, it was really weird. They said I couldn't record, but it's weird because I work here too. So but anyways, still recording, still doing my thing. I just gotta, I don't know. But anyways, that's it for the entire week, and yeah, long video.